Urgent Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Pittsburgh Steelers updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Alright, Steelers Nation, get comfortable because today, we're diving deep into what might be one of the most pivotal off-seasons in the history of this franchise. I mean, we're talking about a period that's shaping up to be nothing short of explosive, full of strategic moves, bold decisions, and perhaps, the kind of change that could define the Steelers' trajectory for years to come. It's been a season of transition, of reassessment, and of course, of high hopes to return to the top of the AFC North. But right now, there's a lot of chatter, a lot of speculation, and some serious buzz about how the Steelers are positioning themselves for a potential upgrade that could turn their fortunes around almost overnight. Let's start by talking about the big picture. This offseason has been anything but dull. General Manager Omar Khan has been on a mission, making moves, clearing cap space, and assessing the roster with a keen eye for what the team needs most. We've seen some familiar faces leave, some new ones arrive, but the core question remains, is this enough to push the Steelers back into serious playoff contention? The short answer, based on current indications, is that they're still looking for that missing piece, especially on offense. Because, let's be honest, if the season started today, the offensive unit would not exactly be causing nightmares for opposing defenses. Right now, Mason Rudolph is penciled in as the starting quarterback. Yes, I said Mason Rudolph, a guy who's had moments but never quite solidified himself as a reliable lead. The primary weapons at his disposal? Pat Freiermuth, a promising young tight end, and DK Metcalf, who, despite being a beast on the outside, isn't exactly enough to scare the entire AFC North. The reality is, this trio doesn't strike the fear into defenses that the Steelers need to compete at the highest level. The offense, as it stands, feels a little too predictable, a little too limited in its firepower. And that's the crux of the issue. More offensive firepower is absolutely essential if Pittsburgh wants to stay competitive, if they want to make a real playoff push, and if they want to finally break through that glass ceiling that's kept them from being true contenders in recent years. This is where things get interesting, because the Steelers are not just sitting still, they're actively exploring options, weighing possibilities, and looking to make a splash that could turn their fortunes around. Now, I want to pause here for a second, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. Okay, so here's where it gets really intriguing. Rumors are swirling about a potential target that could drastically change the Steelers' offensive outlook, Chris Olave, the talented wide receiver from the New Orleans Saints. Olave, a former first-round pick out of Ohio State, has quietly become one of the most precise and dangerous route runners in the entire NFL. Despite the Saints' recent quarterback instability, first with Jameis Winston, then Andy Dalton, and now without Derek Carr, the kid has managed to rack up impressive numbers. Over just 3 seasons, Olave has accumulated more than 500 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns. Those aren't just decent numbers, those are production figures that stand out, especially considering the context of the Saints' quarterback carousel. What makes Olave so appealing for the Steelers? Well, for starters, he's fast, smart, and incredibly sharp in his route running. He has this innate ability to get open against even the best corners, which is a trait that is invaluable in today's NFL. His speed helps him stretch defenses vertically, while his precise routes create separation that makes life easier for any quarterback throwing his way. And let's not forget, Olave is only entering his 3rd season, so he's still young and ascending. There's a lot of room for growth and more production ahead. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. With the Saints likely heading into a rebuilding phase after the surprising retirement of Derek Carr, they're probably going to look to sell some assets to rebuild their draft capital. That's where the Steelers could come in. Pittsburgh, with its wealth of draft picks, thanks to recent trades and strategic planning, is in an excellent position to make a move. The question is, should the Steelers pull the trigger? Think about it, Olave would be an immediate upgrade on the outside, providing a true threat that defenses would have to respect. He's a perfect complement to DK Metcalf, who's more of a physical, downfield threat, but who could benefit from the attention Olave demands. The combination of Metcalf's brute force and Olave's precision route running could turn the Steelers' passing game into something truly dangerous. Plus, losing George Pickens left a noticeable hole in the offense, and Olave could fill that gap seamlessly. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, injuries have hampered Olave's career at times, and that's a valid point. But in the NFL, every player comes with risks, and sometimes those risks are worth taking if the reward is a proven playmaker. For Omar Khan, this could be a strategic move, leveraging draft capital, addressing a glaring need, and making a statement that the Steelers are serious about competing now. In the grand scheme of things, this isn't just about making a splash or a flashy trade. It's about sending a message to the AFC North and the league as a whole that Pittsburgh is not content with just treading water. They want to be contenders. They want to be the team that surprises everyone with bold moves, and acquiring a talent like Olave would do exactly that. It signals a team that's willing to invest in its future, in its offense, and in its quest to reclaim its status among the NFL's elite. But let's also consider the broader context. The AFC North is a brutal division: Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and every game is a grind. To beat those teams consistently, the Steelers need a dynamic offense, one that can keep pace and occasionally outscore opponents. Adding a playmaker like Olave could be the difference maker, especially in close games where a big play can change everything. It's about building an offense that's unpredictable, explosive, and capable of overcoming tough defenses. And honestly, Steelers fans, can you imagine Olave running routes in Heinz Field, catching passes from a more established quarterback, maybe even a new one that they might bring in? The thought alone is enough to get fans excited. His speed, his ability to create separation, and his knack for making tough catches could elevate the entire offense. It would also give the team a much-needed spark, a fresh energy that might just be what this team needs to take the next step. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL, and trading draft capital always involves risk. But the Steelers have shown in the past that they're not afraid to make bold moves when it counts. Think about the trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick, which transformed their secondary overnight, or the draft picks they've accumulated over the years. They've built a reputation for shrewd, strategic decision-making, and this potential move for Olave would be right in line with that philosophy. So, as we look ahead to what's shaping up to be a pivotal offseason, it's clear that the Steelers are laying the groundwork for something big. Whether they pull the trigger on a deal for Olave or explore other options, one thing's for sure: this team is not content to stay stagnant. They're hungry, they're strategic, and they're ready to make bold moves to get back to the top. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Olave would be the perfect addition to this team? Would he help the Steelers finally break through and become serious contenders again? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and more inside info to keep you in the loop. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep the faith, because this offseason could be one of the most exciting in Steelers history.